Dutch and the Portuguese empires are one of Europe's minor colonial powers, as they were both stretching their power and influence around the world. There are a lot of differences between the Dutch and the Portuguese, however. Sure, they both hated Spain, but the Dutch Republic was Protestant at the time and the Portuguese were Roman Catholic. And they both joined the opposing sides in the 30 Years' War. Both sides were hungry for expansion, however, both wanted to control the sugar trade. The two also had a trade dispute between the Dutch East India Company and the Portuguese colonies themselves. The Dutch later blockaded Goa, and war began in 1602, and the VOC began to gain the ground. They battled the Portuguese by sea and attempted to take Portuguese Macau. They then established a colony, Formosa, in southern Taiwan. However, India isn't the only front of the war. The East Indies is a popular front, both the Dutch and the Portuguese. The Dutch continuously began expanding in the East Indies, while in the Americas, the Portuguese were weak. This war became known as the Sugar War, as it evolved all around the sugar trade. In 1624, the Dutch invaded Brazil and captured the colonial capital. In 1631, the Portuguese marched and liberated Brazilian capital. In 1638, the Portuguese fiercely defended attacks against the Dutch, who wanted to claim Bahia. In 1641, the Dutch captured São Luís, giving them control of western Brazil. The Dutch then besieged Olinda and Recife, the largest and richest sugar-producing area in the world. They then established a colony in New Holland. However, an insurrection would lead to unsteadiness in the colony. Meanwhile, the Dutch were making great gains as the Portuguese were weakened in South America. They then wished to bring the war to Africa. Although in 1626, the Dutch were humiliated as the Portuguese ambushed them while they were trying to take Almeida. The Dutch officially managed to take it in 1637. The Dutch captured São Tomé and the Portuguese Gold Coast. The Dutch then formed alliances with the Congo and other tribes in Africa to gain up against the Portuguese, and they agreed to fight against the common enemy. But the Portuguese were going through the Restoration War, and the war began to turn into their favor. Portugal had been going through the Restoration War back home, so things couldn't be done right away. But eventually, the Portuguese sent troops to retake Luanda. Luanda fell, and the Dutch retreated. They fled São Tomé, and the Portuguese took it in the following year in 1661. The Dutch were at a loss, and they were determined to retain their territories. However, they made peace with the Portuguese. The Treaty of The Hague stated that a Portuguese victory in their colonial lands, while the Dutch claimed victory in parts of Africa, and this would help the Dutch form the Dutch Empire later on. The war had been a 60-year-long war, but both sides benefited as both empires would be colonizing some parts of the world later on in history.